Woo! Hi, my name's Johnny, and today we are taking a look at the Cort and Sandberg Frankenstein that is the Cort Arona 4. Now with this bass, I keep saying I've caught Arona, and it sounds like I'm saying I've caught Corona. I have not caught Corona, but I have caught an Arona. So the Arona is a weird bass, and I didn't know it existed until I saw this one for sale. And I thought, oh, that looks fun, interesting. It's two companies that I quite like, so them coming together would be a cool video to document. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for weekly bass related content. So hit that like button and subscribe as well. So Sandberg, obviously famous German manufacturer of basses, normally making pretty high-end stuff in Germany, well over £1,000. So me that normally focus on more affordable stuff, the stuff that I can normally only get my hands on is the Electra range, which is their kind of Eastern cousins, if you like, slightly lower spec or not as much production costs because it's made in a company where the labour is cheap. Anyway, so about 10 years ago, which is when this bass came out, they made a deal with Cort. Now Cort, well known as well as having their own name brand, they make hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of guitars every year, so they're well versed, and even 10 years ago they were making so many for loads of different companies across the world. Anyway, keep getting sidetracked. Sandberg said, we've designed this bass, here are the components. Cort, you go and put them together, sprinkle a bit of spice on there from us, and then that'll be it. You can release it under your own name, well, that's fine. That's basically what this is. It's designed by Sandberg, produced by Cort. So I'll be thinking, yeah, this is probably going to be better than your average Cort that's going to come out of this price range, surely. From looking online, I saw one article that had it up for about $750 when it came out new. Quite expensive, adjust for inflation, you're getting close to £1,000 for this thing. Nowadays, for this one second hand, you're looking at between £300 and £400, I think. Now, looking at this, now let's take a look at this bass in question. It's not a looker, in my opinion anyway. I definitely didn't buy it for its looks. I don't really like the body shape. It's better in person and it feels pretty good, but it's just, the body shape, it is a Sandberg shape. I'll put it up on the screen now. Whoa, there it is. I can't remember the name of it right now, but whoa, look at this thing. But yeah, in terms of looks, not quite there for me. I do quite like the trans brown open pore burst that is on here. I think that's pretty cool looking, but the body shape is, it's not quite doing it for me. So starting at the top, we have got a two either side headstock, and then with some tuners on it, and they're fine. They're alright, but they are Sandberg's own tuners, so you expect they'd be a little bit higher quality. Moving on up, we've got this three-piece maple neck, which is really comfy and a bit more of a satin finish on the back. It's nowhere near gloss or anything like that, and so it's really fast to play and feels really nice in your hand. It's a little bit slimmer or less rounded than, say, a Stingray neck, but it gives me those kind of vibes. It's not like a jazz bass, it's not a fat P-bass neck, it's kind of in the middle, but really nice and comfy. Moving on up, we've got the two pickups on here that are D-Sonic pickups by Delano. So we've got all sorts of companies coming together here. Now, I've heard of Delano, but I've not heard of these pickups before. So when I did a bit of research to look at what they are, what the D-Sonic means, and is it like a sister company or something like that, this bass just comes up. So I think they were really just made for these kind of projects, which is Really interesting. Single coil in the neck and then a nice big humbucker in the bridge. Very classic Sandberg kind of setup. Now that is paired up to a 2-band active preamp. Master volume, which doubles up as an active passive pull pot. Then we've got a pickup blend and then a bass and a treble. Now each of these has a little notch in the middle to let you know when you're at halfway, apart from the volume knob, of course. And these knobs feel pretty nice. One of my favourite things about the Sandberg Electra I checked out, which also comes up again on this bass, is their bridges. They're a bit finicky to get your head around at first. There's lots of Allen key holes, but as soon as you start working on the setup and you get used to it, they're quite easy to work with, and they're nice and chunky, and they have the feature that every single bass bridge should have, and that is that you don't have to go whee string all the way through and feed it through. You can just whoop, loop it around the end, which beautiful. So before we get onto the sounds of this bass, let's talk about a little bit about the overall build quality. It's really good. It's really good. It feels and plays so nicely. You don't get any issues with spiky fret edges or anything like that. The quality feels really high overall. I don't really have any qualms to do with the overall build quality. But does any of that matter? Do you just want to hear how it sounds? Let's take a listen now. We're going to be going through the Line 6 HX Stomp using the Ampeg SVT4 Pro head and the 8x10 cab sim. So let me know in a comment down below what you think about the sound of this bass, because I think people are going to love it or not love it so much. I think this bass really suits quite a scooped sound. When I was playing around with some amp sounds, that's where this bass sits really nicely, I think. One thing I really like about this bass is actually the preamp. Although it's not giving you much of a character, it's just giving you more bass, more treble, it's not too hot. Actually, the preamp, even when you have them both up at full, it's not too boomy, it's not too overpowering. The amount of treble isn't making you want to grate your own ears off. Overall, I was impressed. Theoretically, I should really like the pickup configuration. I love a humbucker in the bridge, I love a single coil in the neck. I don't know why. The bridge humbucker by itself, I think was kind of weak, but I did really like the neck pickup. I think it sounds fat. But then of course when you put them together, it gives you this okay sound, but cancelling each other out a little bit, I think. You're not really getting the best qualities of both, if that makes sense. Now, although I like the active preamp, weirdly, it's a similar story with the Harley Benton Enhanced series bass, which is based on a Sandberg. I really like the sound of the neck pickup in passive. These style of pickups in passive I think sound really good. Not so much the bridge, I think it just makes it sound even weaker. Now, the main contributor to why I think this bass doesn't quite work for me is the body. Now, the black version of this bass has an older body, and this translucent open pore brown burst one has swamp ash. Combine that with the rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, these are really classic components. I just don't feel like the notes are really resonating through the bass all that well, despite the kind of nice chunky bridge on there as well. You'd think this would be a really resonant instrument. But I think that comes through in the sound as well. It's not as full or as warm sounding. I took it to band practice and A-B'd it alongside my Sterling Ray 24, and the Sterling was just so much better. It just felt more full. Both humbuckers in the bridge, yeah, they're all different components of course, but they're not directly comparable, but yeah, that one definitely was winning for me. The sound just doesn't run through the wood as well as I would like it to. But that being said, this bass, aside from that, this bass plays phenomenally well, and I have no issues with the build quality or construction, which is a big tick. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've caught Arona, or whether this one is not tickling your pickle. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.